Hi everybody, you've got Lauren Tida here, Senior Executive Editor for Phoenix Home and Garden Magazine. I am here with Greg Hunt. Greg is a prolific builder here in the Valley, and he was selected as one of our Masters of the Southwest of 2024. So congratulations, Greg,
Thank
on the
you.
distinction.
Thank
So tell us a little bit about the types of projects that you do.
Well, I've been pretty fortunate. In 43 years, I've built a little bit of everything. I'm proud I've never built the same house twice. And we do everything from remodels to new construction. We do everything from adobe houses to very contemporary. So we don't really have what I would call a specialty. So we kind of do the whole gamut.
So one thing that I thought was interesting, and it didn't make it into the story, but I remember it from our original interview, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you cut your teeth at doing historic remodels?
Well, early on I did, yeah, down in the Encanto area. It wasn't the first thing I did, but it was early in our career, and because I always had a passion for history. I originally grew up back in the Midwest, and I liked all the architecture in the old houses. So yeah, I did some of that. We've been fortunate to probably do, I don't know, 7 or 8 historic buildings, homes, not commercial, over the years.
And those can be pretty challenging, but I know you said you actually are pretty passionate about doing them. What is it about them that you like?
I've always liked restoring things, and ever since I was a kid and I grew up on a farm, we didn't fix anything, we didn't buy anything, we fixed it. And so I've always kind of had that passion to fix up older homes. And that's why we do a lot of remodels. You know, they present a challenge, not that new homes don't, but that's the reason I do it.
So one thing that was unanimous among your peers, and when I say that I mean architects, interior designers that you have worked directly with, is they said not only are you known for your precision and your craftsmanship, but you are also a stickler when it comes to time and making sure things stay on schedule. And when you give a move-in date to homeowners, you say call the movers because you're going to be moving in on that date. How do you manage all of that?
Well, first of all, it was nice to hear that some of my peers said that, and we really do try really hard to get people in on time, and we kind of have gotten a reputation for being able to accomplish that. How we do it is schedules. I mean, we have, on the average, if we did a home for somebody that took a year to do, we would have a meeting every week, so that's 52 meetings. And at every meeting, if we don't get an answer that we should have gotten the last week, it stays on the list, and on and on and on. And the subcontractors that I work with, trade partners, they know that that's the way we do it, and they really help us along.
So another thing that was interesting is that you're entirely self-taught, right?
Yeah.
Almost entirely self-taught. How did you get into this?
Well, I always liked being outside, and when I ended up down here with a buddy of mine, he moved back and I stayed. I loved the weather. I had a cousin that lived in Tucson, so I was familiar some with how nice the weather is compared to the Midwest in some cases. And I just started doing side jobs for people, and then eventually that worked into my wife and I started the company together, again, almost 44 years ago now. And we just learned as we went, really, and the projects became more successful, and in some cases they obviously got larger. And so from that point forward, it was really 100% referral, and still is to this day. My dad had actually given me this big popular mechanics book, and so when I was learning, and maybe I was doing a project inside a house, I'd run out to my truck and I'd flip to the electrical page or whatever it was. And so yeah, that was really self-taught, but we've been very fortunate.
So we are currently at Greg's personal private ranch up in Cave Creek, and this holds a lot of significance to Greg because he can be found here on his weekends enjoying the creek that's around here and all the wildlife, but you also enjoy building on your days off as well.
Yeah, I really do. I love to build, and no offense to anybody that's watching this, but it's kind of nice to do it without having an architect, an interior designer, and a homeowner kind of dictating what I want to do. My wife, she kind of lets me do whatever I want, and so it's a real release for me. It's therapy, and I love it. So I keep a lot of old lumber from remodels that we've torn down, and I've got old tin and all that, and so I'm always coming up with something. For example, this barn was something that I built, I don't know, it's probably 25 years ago maybe, and we used all the stone from the site, you know, for the columns, and the wood, it's actually new wood 25 years ago, but I did it in a manner that it would age, and I wanted that. So put an old tin roof on it that I actually brought down from Missouri that came off a tobacco barn. That's what I enjoy doing.
Well, would you mind giving us a little walk around?
Yeah, no, I'd be glad to. I can, let me walk you over here real quick. It's kind of interesting. Had a bunch of old material and salvaged from job sites and things, and I built this 25, 30 years ago, I suppose. And my dad actually, I gave him a popular mechanics book back to that. He built this, and he cut it all up. And so, at any rate, this is a pretty special spot to me. And then of course the creek. This over here is this you might be interested. In 2010, the water was high enough that you see the chair over there on that deck I built. My dad, my son Max, and I built that. That water was 6 to 8 inches higher.
Wow.
The chairs were floating.
Oh my gosh.
That was in 2010. So that tells you how much water. This is part of the cavalry remount station that was here in the 1860s. I have my pet cemetery over there. Got a lot of pets in there over the years, including my horse. This is a cellar that I built several years ago. And the house up here is one I built for my mom and dad in 1996. We salvaged all the stone from the site when we cut into the site. And the tin, it's got all concrete floors. If you were to ask me what my favorite project that I ever built in all 43 years, that's it. You're looking at it. That's most important to me. And 2 bedroom, 2 bath. My mom and dad loved it. And I think it's only 1,400 square feet, but it does the job. This is another cavalry ruin here. It's not really a ruin, they call it a remount station. The cavalry used to come through here, they'd remount. This is what's left of a building they had. And then they'd go down, they were near water, so that's why it works so well. That's an old wagon that I actually, I got that many years ago. There's a story behind it, but I won't go into it. That's a little workshop that I built. So, you know, this is what I do, and I love it. And the windmill is my second favorite thing on the property. It's not for looks, it pumps my water. I have a backup generator, and I got a 5,000 gallon storage tank there next to my 4x4, and that's a little pump house building in there. So it's pretty special to me. When I get north of Carefree Highway, I just take a load off, you know, and so it's what I like to do. It's why I don't mind working hard to be able to come home to this.
Thank you, Greg. Again, congratulations on the Masters of the Southwest distinction. Again, that is our Masters of the Southwest issue. It is on newsstands today. You can pick up your copy, read the rest of Greg's story, find out who else made the cut for Masters of the Southwest, and stay tuned for more Masters videos.